Hello, my name is Sandra Meredith. I teach legal research skills at the Law Faculty at Oxford University, and among other things I'm also responsible, together with Donal Nolan, for producing AuScholar, which is the UK Guide to Legal Citation. In this video I'm going to talk about how to cite secondary sources, that's books and articles, anything that's not a primary source of law, anything that is not the law, if you like. I'm not going to talk very much about books because it's quite straightforward, I think. You cite the author, followed by a comma, and then the title of the book in italics. And then after that, you put in brackets the publisher and the year. That's really quite straightforward. If you have other information that's crucial, such as the book is part of a series, or it's a volume number, or it's published as a sort of subset of something, you put that information inside the brackets before the publisher. And then any page numbers that you're referring to within the book, you put after the brackets are closed, and just the number or numbers. You don't put P or P full stop or anything like that. You simply just put the page number. I should have said perhaps with authors or with editors, you don't put full stops after their names either. AuScholar is a relatively punctuation-free style, so just put, you can put simply an initial and the person's surname, or if the book has the author's full name on the title, then you should just put whatever the title itself has, the book itself has. Contributions to a book, so that's those collections, articles by different people that have been put together by an editor. You write the author's name and a comma, and then you put the title of that section in single quotes, and then you put, say, in, and then you provide the citation for the book, the editor's name, the title of the book, and the publisher and year, in the same way as you would just for a book. That's also fairly straightforward. The specific advice in AuScholar for how to cite books of authority, such as Blackstone's commentaries, how to cite encyclopedias such as Halsbury's Laws or other encyclopedias, online encyclopedias included, and how to cite loose leafs, all of which can be quite tricky. There's information for various specific kinds of things in AuScholar, and some things you're probably going to have to figure out a bit for yourself. I'm going to talk a bit more about journal articles, because journal articles are cited, in my experience, journal articles are cited differently in UK law than they are in other disciplines or in other jurisdictions, except perhaps some of the other common law jurisdictions. It's a bit of an unusual style, so I wanted to focus on that. And I was going to provide some examples. So you start out with the author and a comma, and then the title of the article in single quotes. You put the main words in any title in capitals, or what's called the major words. That's straightforward. But when you get to the citation for, like where you will actually find this article, that's when it gets complicated. I've got these examples here, so this is the sort of general schema, if you like, and then, so Paul Craig, and then the title of the article, and then 2005 in square brackets, PL 440. Well, this article by Alison Young, the title in single quotes, and then in round brackets, the year of the publication, then the volume number, the abbreviation, and then the first page of the article. You probably find that familiar from UK case law citation. It's exactly the same method, but it is unusual. So how do you know how to use the square brackets or the round brackets for the year? If, for example, to show you Oxford Journal of Legal Studies, clearly has a volume number. So this is volume 31. The next one will be volume 32. The next one, volume 33. They're consecutively numbered. So that volume number is really all you need to find that volume. Some journals, such as this one, Public Law, PL stands for Public Law, they have 4 volumes a year. I think they call them summer, autumn, winter, spring. So that is not included in the citation anywhere, and the year is put then into square brackets because the year becomes crucial for finding the volume. It's a little bit complicated. The best I can say about it is that there are very few of these journals, such as Public Law, who follow this system. There is a list of them on the AUSCOLA Frequently Asked Questions site, and if you come across one that isn't on that list, do let me know and I'll add it to the list. So that's how you cite journal articles. If you're citing a particular page in a journal article, you put a comma after the first page, and then you put the page that you're referring to. So no, you don't need the spread of pages for the article like some styles do, just the first page. You'll notice in this example here, which is from Yale Law Journal, that it's written also in the sort of UK style. So with journal articles, they all go in the UK style, no matter where they come from. And there are lots of abbreviations that you can use. You can look up the Cardiff Index for Legal Abbreviations to find out what the preferred abbreviation is for a journal, or there's a short list of the main ones at the back of AUSCOLA, or simply use the abbreviation provided by the journal if it provides one for itself. So that's it for journals. Apart from online journals, they all cite a little bit differently. They have the same basic principles, author title, and then the citation. The crucial things are that you need to provide the web address. You don't need http:// if it begins with www. So this one has no www, so you should put that at the beginning, otherwise it becomes obscure. And you should try to make sure you don't have search strings in the web address. So sometimes you'll have and English and someone's name, something like that. Try to make sure you get the most succinct web address that you can get. So you need to provide that, and you need to provide the date that you accessed it. That's really crucial for any web sources, blogs, websites, government websites. Web pages move. They get moved within websites and they get moved from one publisher to another. So it's important for your own reference, for the certainty of your own reference, that you can say that document was definitely there on that day. And there are web archives that can be used to find documents that have subsequently disappeared. The only other thing to note with online journals is that if you have a page number, a pinpoint, that goes before the web address. So you need to put it in the middle of the web address there. So that's journals. I really only have one more main thing. So Section 3 of AUSCOLA has information about citing Hansard, parliamentary papers, command papers, law commission reports, all those specifically legal sorts of things, and guidelines for citing websites and blogs and newspaper articles and so on. But there clearly isn't and can't be examples for every kind of document that you might come across or want to cite. So the thing that I suggest you might find really most useful is this section 3.4.1 for general principles for other secondary sources. And it provides a guideline for citing things for which you can't find examples in AUSCOLA. So author, comma, title in single quotes, as you do with journal articles, and then brackets. In the schema we say additional information. There you should put any information that will help someone reading your document find that document. So perhaps a document number, or perhaps who some government department it was published by, and so on, and then the publisher, and then the year. So you'll very often have to figure that information out yourself, but you can make it all look consistent by using this general schema. I should point out that if a document has an ISBN, you should just cite it like a book. So if it's got an ISBN, treat it like a book. If it hasn't, use this general schema in section 3.4.1. So that's all I have really. I just want to reiterate that with sources from other jurisdictions, you should cite them the AUSCOLA way, if you like, secondary sources. Although with primary sources, cases from the US or from India or South Africa or wherever, you should cite them as they're cited in that jurisdiction. I think that's about all. I'd like to encourage you to download the AUSCOLA Citation Guide or buy a copy. Use the contents pages at the beginning and the index at the back to help you find the things that you're looking for. Follow the general principles, practice a bit, and it should help you get your citations right. So thank you very much. I hope that's helpful.